flight attendant is trained to handle anything, from the routine
Check to see that your seatbelt is securely fastened.
to the terrifying.
Open the seatbelts! Get out!
And when that happens, training saves lives.
They call it boot camp, and we are, merciless.
I'm gonna feel like a huge failure if I do get sent home today.
Before any flight attendant takes off, she must be prepared for the possibilities no one likes to think about. Because keeping passengers comfortable is easy. Keeping them safe, that's the hard part. The preparation begins at flight attendant school. In this episode of Flight Attendant School.
The Air France plane just crashed in Toronto.
Oh my goodness, a huge fireball erupting from the tail of the aircraft.
There's probably lives lost.
This training program is to prepare you for the absolute worst case scenarios.
Bags are packed. I am ready to go. On a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again.
It's week 4 of Flight Attendant School, and the students continue to train for every possibility that can happen while working in the air. Today, William and his classmates are taking a test on emergency evacuation procedures. Because he's already failed one test, William must pass, or his career at Frontier will be over.
I can't fail any more tests because I've already taken my free retake, and you're only allowed one, so I have to pass every single test from now on. This is very stressful.
This week, the students are taking their evacuations test. In the past, we have had to release people from the program for not successfully passing this test.
William feels the pressure of today's exam, knowing he doesn't have a second chance.
This is very high stakes that I've got to pass this program or go home, and I definitely want to pass this course.
Are you all ready? Okay, let's get this over with. Good luck. If you have questions, please let us know.
I just took an emergency procedures test. It was a little rough. The parts of the test that were giving me trouble was the individual things about fires or what to do, or the flight attendants are supposed to do what. In an emergency situation, you have to be the one who gets all those passengers off, and their lives are in your hands. Sherry told me when I was asking her questions that I basically knew the material. I was just thinking too far into it or reading too much into the questions. I just want to make sure I do well and make sure I pass. So it's, it's stressful a little bit, and I do put more stress on myself because of that.
After double-checking his answers, William turns in his test, knowing that his future career as a flight attendant is now out of his hands. The students wait nervously while the tests are graded. Then, instructor Melissa brings the students back into the auditorium for their results. For William, this could mean his career.
If I fail, I'm out of a job. I've got to get through this program. There's no going back.
Welcome back, everyone. Everybody did awesome. Nice job. Nice job. I'll go ahead and pass these back. William, nice work.
I made 100 on my emergencies and procedures test. I was happy about it because it was done and over with. It was stressful. I was nervous.
Great job, William.
Thanks. This is a job I really want, so I'm just ready to get out there and can't wait till it's finished.
With the testing complete, the students move on to the cabin trainer for an exercise designed to build confidence during emergency water evacuations.
We're going to play a quick life vest game with them. Pam will give them a countdown, and the object of the game is to, while being blindfolded, to whip the life vest out from underneath their seat, put it on, and inflate both panels, and whoever can do that the quickest is going to win the game. The point of having to put the life vests on blindfolded is really for the fact that if you're in a smoke-filled cabin, lights are down, they may not be able to see their life vest.
Fortunately, we have Pam, who's going to be helping judge this contest. All right? So, very first thing I need everyone to do is please put on your blindfolds.
Go, Jack!
Come on, Jack. It's okay.
No, over your eyes. I'm sorry, excuse me. Yes, it is not a fashion accessory. We do need you to be blindfolded.
All right, guys. Do we have some timers? Okay, back to your back rest. 1, 2, 3, go, 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 go! Gotta keep blindfolded. Okay, flow tapers are full. You gotta make sure your tapers are full. Look at her.
I'm so down.
Yeah, the winner. All right, and since Candace is our winner for her prize, she gets her own personal pocket face mask and also a set of Frontier overalls from the company store. There you go. You're welcome. Congratulations.
After playing the Life Vest game, the students now have a better understanding of what to do when they become disoriented during an emergency. Coming up on Flight Attendant School.
An Air France plane just crashed in Toronto.
Oh my goodness. Huge fireball erupting from the tail of the aircraft.
There's probably lives lost.
At Frontier Airlines' Flight Attendant program, training continues as the students focus on what to do during an emergency evacuation.
All right, guys, you ready to move on to planned emergencies? So we were working the beverage cart. All of a sudden, we hear one ding, 2 dings, probably calling both stations, 3 dings. That's an emergency.
Today we're learning about planned and unplanned emergencies. It's all about death and dying and things like that about plane crashes. So it's a little depressing, but it's something that we need to go over just in case that situation arises on board our aircraft.
I think we'll take a break, so let's come back at 2:55, please.
As the class is about to take a short break, Stacy receives a phone call with some alarming news.
An Air France plane just crashed in Toronto.
Really?
It caught fire and skidded off the runway.
So they just found out that an Air France plane just landed, an emergency landing in Toronto, and caught on.
Hey.
Oh, really?
Just now.
Who said that?
Stacy on her phone, I think.
Oh. Hey, Marco. Apparently there's an Air France on fire.
There's a what?
Air France flight that just came in on fire, and it's all on the news.
We turned on the TV here, and apparently an Air France aircraft, an Airbus 340, so it's larger than what we operate, but it's the same manufacturer of our aircrafts are. Slid off the runway, ran into a ditch. I guess during the process it broke up into, sounds like a couple pieces, and caught on fire.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, we are looking at this footage in real time with you. We just have a small amount of information. This was an Air France flight 358 flying from Paris to Toronto's Pearson Airport, and it appears to have gone off the runway. And as you can see, there's a severe amount of smoke. Oh my goodness, a huge fireball erupting from the tail of the aircraft. It appears to be completely engulfed in flames at this point. We're now joined by, this is John Lee. He's talking to us via cell phone. He's actually at the freeway near the west end of the runway at Pearson International in Toronto. And he apparently is an eyewitness to this entire episode. John, tell us what you saw.
From this plane, it tried to land, and then it kept going, and then it burst into fire. I think it was an Air France.
John, can you tell me what the weather was like?
It was cold, and there was a thunderstorm. It was wet. That's why maybe the plane was skidding. I don't know. It was terrible.
The news didn't say if anybody survived. All they showed was a plane burning up, and you could barely see what was left of the actual fuselage, so it worried a lot of us, including myself. Some images you just can't get out of your head.
The Air France plane crashed on landing, slid off the runway. Looks pretty bad. Exploded. Gas. Looks like, judging from the smoke.
We don't have any information at this point about evacuations. We don't have any information at this point about casualties. That just gives me pause, and I do worry about the remains of the entire aircraft that's out of sight, and what the passengers, if any, were still on board. It's probably a very, very difficult challenge to escape this sort of a fire this large.
There's probably lives lost.
coming up on Flight Attendant School.
You just have to fear the passengers.
That makes the training really come down to home. This is what we train for. This is what we're here for.
It makes me feel just a little scared about becoming a flight attendant.
I may lose a student tomorrow.
The flight attendant trainees are studying what to do during an emergency evacuation when a real-life emergency develops.
Ladies and gentlemen, in case you're just joining us, what you're seeing is live breaking news. Here's what we know at this point.
Some Air France plane was landing in Toronto, slid off the runway and crashed into a valley or ravine. It's kind of eerie that we were just talking about, planned and unplanned emergencies and evacuations, and something like this happens. You just pray that obviously everything was done right and they were able to all survive.
This fire is going to be very, very difficult. You just have to fear for the passengers.
I am upset about the accident. It makes me feel just a little scared about becoming a flight attendant now, just because it could happen in a blink of an eye. It's pretty scary.
It reminds me, Lockheed L.
Sounds like from the witnesses that it immediately erupted in fire, giving very little time for passengers to get out. It's hard to find something good to say in this moment. Just think about their families.
From de Gaulle Airport in Paris, France, and it was a transatlantic flight.
Mood has definitely turned somber as they watch the news. I hope that they can understand that these situations are rare, but there's that part of them that needs to recognize that this can happen.
Air France informed them that there were 297 people aboard this flight. We do not have any idea if anybody has escaped or got off the plane safely. We only know at this point that 297...
We talked to Pam, and she thought that we should just stop it now. Pam's going to lead just a discussion to make sure everybody's okay. She's the perfect person we would hope to be here to talk to the class.
The in-flight staff comes together in some sort of tragedy like this. I think it's sobering for us because we're prepping our students for these type of situations. Events such as this, I think, are huge reminders to us as just how critical our role is. And I need to tell you, from an individual who's been in this industry for almost 3 decades, is that what you're feeling, we all feel, okay? Whether it's anxiety or just total awareness, maybe some a little fear. But that's what this training program is designed for, is to prepare you for the absolute worst case scenarios. And it's just sharing their greatest fears and letting them know that they're not alone. They just got hit with it. It's like somebody socked them in the stomach, and now you let them know they're not in it by themselves. Every single time we've had any sort of incident, the flight attendants have every time come back to us and said, it kicked in. So I don't want you to be hard on yourself, and I don't want you to use the word, I shouldn't be afraid. We are trained professionals. That's what we do. You immediately want to cocoon them and say, you know what, it's okay. And don't feel bad for being afraid. And don't be worried. We'll be okay. We prepare you, so we hope that you never ever use this training, ever. But in the event that it should happen, I can promise you, you will know what to do. Believe in what you know, okay? If you need to talk to me, my office is right outside the door, okay?
I don't know that I know what I'm feeling right now, other than lucky. And I don't know. So, don't hesitate to lean on people, right? We're all a big family.
I was just calling you because we've been learning, doing our emergency evacuations today, and of course, in the middle of our training, there's a huge plane crash in Toronto, and really bad, on an Airbus. So I just came out to call you to tell you that I loved you.
There's a couple people in the class who were very upset, obviously, and I think if they were questioning this week at all, if this was the right position for them, and then they see something like this happen live in front of their eyes, it really brings it home, and I think it really makes them question this is the right career path for them.
It crashed. It skidded off the runway. It was on fire. Well, I just called to tell you I love you. tell my daddy I love him too.
I think this affects our students by, there's going to be a myriad of emotions. We may lose a student.
All right, love you. Okay. Okay, bye. Love you too. Bye.
It's the real world. It's wow. And maybe this isn't what I want to do. So I may lose a student tomorrow.
Coming up on Flight Attendant School.
This is a tough week. Why things happen sometimes you don't know.
Every time we take off and land, there's always the thought of this could crash.
You are trained, you are ready.
The students at Flight Attendant School are processing some powerful emotions as an Air France flight loaded with passengers has gone off the end of the runway and caught fire in Toronto. As the class attempts to move on by reviewing emergency evacuations, Marco interrupts with good news.
We just received some good news. Air France is confirming that there are no fatalities on board.
Yay.
There was 297 passengers and 12 crew aboard. Wow. And everyone got off before the fire started. So all the passengers were off the plane. The flight attendants got everybody out before the fire erupted.
Yay. So that's good news. I just wanted you guys to have that good news. They got 297. That's fantastic.
That's amazing.
The flight attendants did evacuate everyone from the aircraft before the fire broke out. And that's exactly what we train our students to do as well. I think everyone just did a great big sigh of relief. It just shows that the training pays off. This is a perfect example of what we're trying to accomplish.
Everybody survived because of the flight attendants. They got every single passenger out without being killed. That does give you a little pride because that's the reason we're here. And we're not here just for coffee and tea.
The next day, Instructor Frank assembles the students in the auditorium to address the events in Toronto.
This is a tough week, and to have the real-life situation happening during this week, why things happen sometimes you don't know. The crew did an incredible job. That should empower you and make you feel confident that there's a reason that you're learning what you're learning, that you know inside. You are trained, you are ready. I hope that was a takeaway for you yesterday.
Hearing survivor stories makes me more gung-ho about doing it. It makes me feel like, okay, I'm here for a reason. I can handle this in the event of an emergency, and I can get these people out.
As Frank's discussion with the students winds down, Marco shares some exciting news.
At 2:30, we have 3 new stations coming in, I believe. And we're going to go through a cabin prep with an evac at the end of it. All 4 major stations in Colorado want to cover Frontier Airlines because they know firsthand that those flight attendants saved 300 people's lives yesterday in Air France. And so they want to localize the story, and you will be in front of all of the cameras, all over the news tonight on every station.
As Pam is interviewed in the classroom, the students get ready to perform an emergency evacuation in the cabin trainer for the news cameras.
Are you ready for the TV cameras? Good idea. And then call everyone, tell them that you'll be on every news channel tonight.
Well, I think it's pretty cool that the press, takes an interest in, flight attendants and how they're trained and, what we're doing and what we're capable of in the event of an emergency.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has advised us to prepare the cabin for a possible emergency landing.
I think our students felt a little bit pressured and stressed from it because this is a chance for them to show what flight attendants are really here to do. We're not here to just make people comfortable. We're here to save lives.
The added anxiety of performing an evacuation for the local news cameras gives the students a better understanding of the pressure they may experience during a real emergency.
I am incapacitated. You will remove me from my jump seat. If I'm blocking the exit, send me off of the aircraft.
Brace, brace.
It was cool having the news crews there today to watch how we evacuate an emergency situation. I hope the news caught that we take this seriously.
This makes us proud to see you guys go through that, and I know I could see you guys doing a little bit of this, right? And this is a drill, but this is where we want to practice, is in here. We know that, you know what, if we ever needed to, we've got it.
Most of the time, people just think we serve Cokes, pretzels. The awareness of the news media does help when something like that happens. They show that we're not there just to serve them a Coke, we're there to save their life.
On the next episode of Flight Attendant School.
She was going a little bit too far with it. Tomorrow's going to be much more hectic and chaotic.
We're missing Laura.
What we're going to do is we're going to suspend you from the training.
1 minute to ruin my career and all this work. And I'm going to feel like a huge failure if I do get sent home today.
I need you to take a deep breath. I need you to go in and wash your face because you've got an exam.
A flight attendant is trained to handle anything, from the routine
Check to see that your seatbelt is securely fastened.
to the terrifying. And when that happens, training saves lives.
They call it boot camp, and we are, merciless.
And I'm going to feel like a huge failure if I do get sent home today.
Before any flight attendant takes off, she must be prepared for the possibilities no one likes to think about. Because keeping passengers comfortable is easy. Keeping them safe, that's the hard part. The preparation begins at Flight Attendant School. In this episode of Flight Attendant School.
She was going a little bit too far with it. Tomorrow's going to be much more hectic and chaotic.
We're missing Laura.
What we're going to do is we're going to suspend you from the training.
1 minute to ruin my career.
How are you?
Bags are packed. I am ready to go. On a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again.
It's the end of the 4th week at Flight Attendant School, and the students are almost finished with their emergency training. To mark the final phase of this intense training, the instructors add a festive atmosphere to today's session.
For our overwater training, we like to have some fun with it. It's kind of a grim topic of conversation, so we try to line it up with as much as possible. So we have Hawaiian Luau Day, kind of make fun out of it, so the students can relax and enjoy a little bit of the day.
But it won't be all fun and games.
Laura?
The last section of emergency training concerns overwater flights and how to handle an overwater evacuation. Today's exercise is a mock overwater flight with students William, Susan, and Laura acting as flight attendants.
Okay, you're on extended overwater aircraft. You're going to San Francisco. What are you going to brief them on? As far as flotation device?
Just the seat cushion.
Seat cushions, right?
Seat cushion.
Okay.
Our instructors aren't predictable. They could give us anything from a planned land crash, or they may pull the overwater unplanned ditching. You never know. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard Frontier Airlines flight number 666 to San Francisco.
This will be a mock flight with a couple of surprises. The first, an unruly passenger.
Karen had briefed Rhonda about what to do in the situation. You're supposed to be an unruly passenger.
I only got chips today. I only got chips right now. I can't believe it.
She was going a little bit too far with it. So Karen actually motioned with her hands as in slow down, like relax a little bit.
Time left to continue using your electronic devices.
Sit down now. Remain seated. You have a problem with my chair. Remain seated.
Okay, and Rhonda took that as in push William.
No one is paying attention to what I have to say. No one.
I didn't think in the day in the life I would be pushed or shoved. It shocked me for one, but at first I was mad. But you know, you have to remember this is fake, and if it was to happen, you'd have to take control, and that's something I learned out of that experience.
Improvising a solution for an unruly passenger, the acting flight attendants move to restrain Rhonda.
Get down. Get down. I said I'm fine. I'm fine. Now you're roughhousing me.
Today in the mock-up, Rhonda's role was an irate passenger that got a little out of hand and attacked our flight attendant, William. I really hope I never run into that on the plane, but it's possible. It can happen.
What are you doing to her?
None of that was planned. And all we were asking Ron to do was just to relax a little bit, and then it turned into chaos.
We're gonna move her in front of the exit row.
William, Susan, and Laura did a great job because they responded exactly how it would in real life.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have about 5 minutes before we will be landing in San Francisco. Please remain seated until we let you know that you can deplane.
Rhonda is restrained, but the flight attendants still must prepare the other passengers for landing. But what they're not expecting is what happens next.
Part of our day in the life routine is going to be dealing with a unplanned water evacuation.
The evacuation training, it was frightening. It was frightening, but it was exciting.
William was helping passengers with their flotation devices and was the last one off the plane.
The 3 attendants on this flight handled every challenge thrown at them, from restraining a passenger to quickly performing a water evacuation. Great practice for the unpredictable situations of their job.
Good. Let's give a round of applause. That was a lot.
You're saying stop, but I thought you meant shut.
She showed me like 3 rows.
No, because I thought you told me to.
Great job. Really
Yeah.
great job.
You guys did awesome on that.
Coming up on Flight Attendant School.
It's overwater training day.
We're missing Laura.
I'm gonna feel like a huge failure if I do get sent home today.
It's almost the end of emergency training at Flight Attendant School, and the students are practicing for overwater evacuations.
All right, you guys, we're gonna head right into our extended overwater rescue training. We're going to crash in the water. It's planned, it's prepared, we can get it ready for that. Okay.
The flight attendants are responsible for inflating the life rafts and evacuating their passengers safely onto them. In this situation, the flight attendants act as raft leaders, organizing and calming the passengers.
Come this way. Pull red tab. Today I got to be the raft commander, and I had to put all the passengers or classmates into a raft, simulating a ditching for today.
This is 36 people. 44 is your average capacity. Now imagine 55 people in here.
The dry run was really chaotic just because there were so many of us trying to fit into that raft together, and everyone was trying to figure out what to do. It was just chaotic.
So, your next task is to me to put the canopy up. I didn't teach you how to do this. We're not going to. We want to see how you can do it. Okay, so William's in charge. Take it away, William.
Being raft commander was fun because you get to be in charge and you get to tell your classmates what to do. Listen up! Shh. This is the cover for the top of the slide. What I want you to do is expand it over. Just put it over your head.
As they figure out how to deploy the canopy, the students get a sense of how uncomfortable the raft would be.
I'm claustrophobic. I don't like sheets over my head, let alone a tarp. You can't breathe. It was miserable.
Everyone performed well during the dry run. But to truly test the skills of these students, the instructors need to add water and waves.
All right, so this was a dry run. Tomorrow's gonna be much more hectic and chaotic. We'll see you guys tomorrow at 8:30.
The next morning, the instructors meet early at Water World to prepare for the overwater evacuation training.
It's overwater training day for the students, and we've got a lot of equipment we've got to offload here before the students get here. We're going to get set up, get the raft inflated, get our life vests out.
Wrangle that thing, Tyler!
All right, the raft's ready. We're gonna go get the students now.
Everyone was waiting outside of Waterworld at 8:30 when Karen came to get us and take us into the park.
Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, so hopefully everybody's here. Nobody's missing, right? That we see? Okay, guys, come on, let's go.
Once we got there, a few of us realized that Laura was missing. I just was hoping she had a good excuse because I know they don't really tolerate tardiness.
You guys, can you please all put your hands up? I need to do a count. 1, 2, 4, 5,
When we were going through our head count to make sure that all of our students made it to Waterworld on time, we noticed that we were one student shy. And that's when we were first alerted that Laura wasn't actually on time to the program.
We're missing Laura.
Coming up on Flight Attendant School.
Laura said that she's been standing out there and there was nobody out there.
It's not okay to be late for work, and it's not okay to be late for training.
Had we been in the auditorium, were you on the other side of the door?
The flight attendant trainees are at a water park to practice an overwater evacuation in a wave pool.
We're gonna get started as soon as I'm done talking.
We're learning this training in the wave pool because of the experience of being in water for the evacuation, and also the wave pool here kind of reenacts a real waves that could take place.
Just be careful, you guys. We're supposed to start at 8:30 today. Laura still isn't here.
The instructors are ready to start, but they've just discovered that Laura's late to the exercise.
Come back here when you guys are done settling in.
This is a scheduled training event. I did make it clear that this wasn't a volunteer activity. They had to be here. If they were late, they would be dismissed from the program. She called?
Not me, but I don't know who she called.
That's Laura said that she's been standing out there. There was nobody out there, but she's just sitting by the front gate, just waiting.
As in class, any tardiness means termination from the program.
It's not okay to be late for work, and it's not okay to be late for training.
Laura finally arrives nearly 10 minutes late.
I got to find out from her who she tried to call. I can't make that decision right now.
Right.
We got to get it going.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk with her.
I told her to sign in.
This morning, Laura was late joining us for the water evacuation. She was here at the time when we were supposed to be here. She just wasn't physically inside the water area. So I don't know what steps are going to be taken after this.
Laura was late for the overwater training by her own actions.
All right, you guys, once you've signed in and set your stuff down, I need you to come over here and stand by the life vest, please.
We did let Laura participate in the drill simply because we didn't have time to investigate the reason for her tardiness right then and there.
Your RAF commander today is Candace. Here's how we're going to play this game today.
We need sense of urgency today. This needs to be a real evacuation. We're not going to go slow, but you need to be careful.
Okay, you guys ready? The aircraft is stopped. What do you say now? On this way.
The raft at Waterworld was definitely chaotic. However, it was a good way to put ourselves in the situation and gave me confidence that I would know what to do if ever in that situation on the plane.
Having all 39 classmates on that raft, it was cramped.
Now you're floating out at sea. What do you do next? The rain's coming.
The water training this morning is realistic. They were splashing water in, and it was pretty fierce.
Being in the raft, in the wave pool, it was kind of a scary situation, you know, if you're thinking about actually evacuating a plane in the middle of the ocean, and this is what you're gonna do. It was a scary thing.
Now, one at a time, go ahead and start exiting the raft, starting with Candace.
Trying to get in the raft it's like almost impossible without help. So it's slippery and trying to pull yourself up. It's very awkward. So I mean, it was hard for all of us to do it. So I couldn't even imagine doing it like in a real life emergency situation with 132 people. So I mean, it was tough.
Okay, you guys, we're finished. If you guys want to enjoy the rest of the day here at Waterworld, you are their guest today. So thanks for coming out today. I hope you learned a lot. I'll see you guys Monday morning for class at 9 a.m.
Soaked and exhausted, the students have successfully completed overwater training. Now they can enjoy the rest of their day.
It's great to have a day off from school and everything. Spend it at the water park.
While the students have fun at the park, the instructors still have to determine why Laura was late for the exercise.
Laura? Hi, can I borrow you for a second? I now have to get Laura's side of the story as to why she was late to overwater training today. So tell me.
Yes.
What happened at 8:30?
Oh, I was standing at the wrong gate with a bunch of people.
You were at the wrong, which gate were you at?
Well, I was on this far side. There's one to the left.
Okay. Sherry and I had our cell phones. Did you think?
Bring my numbers with me.
Here's our situation. We gave directions to meet at the main gate. We handed out maps to everybody, and when we brought everybody up here and did a count of hands, you weren't in the group. So it's kind of a big deal. First of all, we needed to hear your side of the story, what happened. You know, there's always two or more sides of a story. All right.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Laura.
You have to be on time. If you're late, you're late. You know, I can see her side of it, but the instructors have the authority, and you have to respect that it's their decision to make at the end of the day.
Aware of what her potential fate could be, Laura retreats to the bathroom, leaving the instructors to debate how to handle the situation.
Now everybody's having fun at Waterworld after all our training, and one thing that has put a damper on the mood is that Laura's in the bathroom crying still, and we're not sure what's going to happen with all that.
We need to all get our facts together. I think, you know, everybody's feeling it right now, and I don't think it's fair.
We now have to investigate why Laura was late. This is a part of the investigation that our students deserve.
So it was 8:30 when you went to go grab the students?
It may have been a matter of 2 minutes, but that's
late is
late
late.
is
Or even
late
1
is late.
minute.
We've always done that.
I know, and unfortunately, I wish you would have had our numbers.
Guys, this isn't the time and the place to tell someone they're terminated. This is not the right environment. This is not.
I just wanted to tell her something before we just said, okay, goodbye.
Well, I'll talk with her. I just need a female with me.
I'll go.
Not feeling really good right now about the situation with Laura.
Coming up on Flight Attendant School.
I feel like a huge failure if I do get sent home today.
We have to hold that person as well as all of our students accountable.
Because Laura was late to the overwater training exercise at Waterworld, the instructors are forced to take action until they can debrief Pam, the Senior Director of In-Flight Training.
Hey, Laura, we're ready to talk if you are. Okay.
By all indications, Laura was late this morning. I was not able to reach Pam, so unfortunately this is going to have to wait till Monday morning. This is a serious situation. What we're going to do is we're going to suspend you from the training, okay, for right now. Pam's involved in all decisions regarding someone's employment status. Bottom line. I'm thinking that at some point over the next, between now and Monday morning, I'll be able to get in touch with Pam. All right, we'll see you. We'll talk on Monday.
I'm crushed. I mean, to have gotten this far in the class, and you know, it's been really hard. It's been a lot of work, and I've really worked hard at it. I thought we were in the home stretch, and then for this one little thing, this is going to keep me from it. I'm heartbroken. 1 minute to ruin my career and all this work. I'm going to feel like a huge failure if I do get sent home today. It's just dangerous to be on pins and needles.
I'm not sure at this point what could save Laura's job.
It's a somber mood at Frontier on Monday morning. Chris waits outside as Marco informs Pam about Laura's situation.
I don't like to start my Mondays like this. It's never easy, even from the beginning, because these people try so hard. Why don't you go grab her and just bring her in, okay?
Okay.
Thanks. And yet, we have to follow our policy. Hey, Laura. How are you? Are you okay? Please sit down. Are you feeling okay?
Stressed out, but...
Are you? I'm sorry. Let me ask you a question. Had we been in the auditorium, and let's say the gates at Waterworld were the doors at the auditorium, were you on the other side of the door? All right. You know, one of the hardest parts of our job, we have to hold that person as well as all of our students accountable, and then we have to let them go.
There's no way that this could just be a failed test.
Or I wish it could. I really do.
I know, I just went to the wrong place.
I know. I have to tell you, it's been a pleasure to meet you. We've enjoyed you in class, and this is very difficult, I know, for you, but it's for us too. I need you to take a deep breath. You put your shoulders back because you have a lot to be proud of. You just made one mistake. I'm so sorry, Laura. I respect the fact that she was being honest with us, and she understood. She wasn't pointing fingers at anyone. So you have to respect her. This was a mistake, okay?
Although Laura was fired, Frontier's policy allows her to reapply in 6 months.
Okay.
In 6 months.
See you in 6 months, okay?
Thank you. It's been great.
All right.
Thank you, Laura.
Bye, sweetie.
No, I almost made it, and that's what makes it even harder. I have no idea what I'm going to do for the next 6 months.
Good morning. This is the kind of speech I don't like to give.
Being in the classroom today, not seeing Laura, and then seeing Frank come in, we all knew that it wasn't good news.
I'll just get right out with it. We are less one student.
I'm really sad to see Laura go, especially this close to the end of the program.
I know this is a tough thing for you.
It was pretty hard on everybody. I know that Laura got along with everyone. Definitely the friends that she was really close to, it was really hard on them. But I mean, it was hard on all of us.
Clearly have formed a bond.
I thought Laura's situation, it's the policy. I don't 100% agree with all the policies, you know, but I just think it's unfortunate. It really reiterates that, hey, any of us can go at any time.
I want you to stay focused on what you have to do.
If I was in Laura's situation, I definitely would be upset with myself, but it's one of those things that you just have to own up to and learn from it.
All right, which is we have some training left still.
Rhonda and Laura were really good friends, and Rhonda did take it hard today when Laura had to be released from the program.
I need you to take a deep breath. I need you to go in and wash your face because you've got an exam, all right? And Laura would want you to do great. We all do, okay? But there's nothing that you could have done. Nothing. And she knows that. These classes, they all get so very close that it's hard when you lose one, especially at this stage in the game. It's never easy.
On the next episode of Flight Attendant School.
The students are going to put out a fuel fire.
Annie had a little trouble with the fire.
Don't shoot yet. We're doing door drills. If students do not pass, they will be released from the program.
I'm definitely a little nervous.
Annie's mom is a pilot at Frontier, and everyone expects Annie to do well.
I want you to take control.
Karen can be intimidating at times.
What did you forget? Manual inflation handle.
If she doesn't complete this drill, she can be released.